We're continuing from day one. And looking at this trial, it's amazing because it's only been a couple of days. Day 3 finished up yesterday. They just had a few hours of actually court proceedings, and then the judge gave the jury instructions. So let's get into the rest of this and see what's going on.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give in this cause will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
This might be a little fast. Let me slow it down. And y'all let me know if the audio is good.
My name is Danielle Janicic, D-A-N-I-E-L-L-E, J-A-N-I-C-I-K.
Good afternoon, Ms. Janicic. Tell the jury where you work.
The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office.
How long have you worked at the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office?
Almost 4 years.
Explain to the jury, what is your title at the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office?
I am a crime scene investigator.
Oh, we got
Help us understand
CSI. Okay.
Exactly what does it mean to be a crime scene investigator? Tell us what you do.
When a call for service comes out, we are the ones that go to the scene and collect evidence, take photographs, swab for suspected biological fluids, and then process for latent prints.
How long have you worked at Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office?
Almost 4 years.
When you started, did you get hired as a crime scene investigator?
Yes.
How many times have you been called out to a scene and been asked to do your duties as a crime scene investigator?
Hundreds.
On August 29th of 2022, is it fair to say that you've been to hundreds of scenes by that time as well?
Yes.
So on August 29th of 2022, do you get a call to be a crime scene investigator on the case we're here for today involving the defendant Jermaine Bass?
Yes.
Tell the jury what time about were you called to come out to the scene?
I was requested at about 12:20 a.m. to respond to Tampa General.
Now, when you get called to come out to a scene to be a crime scene investigator, who calls you to come? Is it like a patrol deputy or is a detective involved at that point?
Typically, it's a detective.
When you arrive after being called to a crime scene to be a crime scene investigator, do you typically meet with a detective before you conduct any of your duties as a crime scene investigator?
Yes.
On August 29th, or the morning of August 30th, when you arrived at the scene for this case, did you meet with a detective?
I did.
Who was that detective?
At the hospital, it was Detective Gibson.
So what hospital are we talking about?
Tampa General.
When you arrived at Tampa General Hospital, you meet with Detective Gibson. What do you do after you talk with Detective Gibson?
He requested that photos and evidence be collected of 2 individuals,
Who are the 2 individuals?
Jayla and Jermaine Bass.
Okay, and at the time, did you take photos at that scene?
Yes.
Then what did you do after that?
I responded to the Heritage Club Drive residents, to assist my lead CSI, Shannon Bader.
When you arrived at the Heritage Club residence and you were assisting, what does it mean to assist the lead crime scene investigator? Help us understand, what does that mean?
So usually the lead is the one that is taking the photographs, the one marking evidence, collecting evidence. I am behind her doing presumptive swabs, assisting
Yeah, it'll be
packaging
interesting
her
to see what
swabs,
they say.
or packaging her evidence further and getting it out of her way, or creating a scene diagram.
In this case, when you went to the Heritage Club townhome, were you asked to create a crime scene diagram?
I was.
Explain to the jury, how do you make a crime scene diagram? And do you just look around and sketch it out? What's the process to make that?
So we use something called a Faro scanner, and the easiest way to describe it is if you're looking to rent an apartment or buy a home, sometimes they have 3D virtual tours. These scanners are something similar to that. So we create a 3D virtual tour of the scene, and from that I can create a 2D diagram that is computer generated.
Nice.
And did you do that in this case?
I did.
Your Honor, at this point I'm asking to, or I'm going to show the witness, this has been pre-marked as State's Exhibit 25. Do you recognize this?
Yes.
Is this a fair and accurate representation of the diagram that you created in this case of the Heritage Club address?
Yes.
Judge, at this time, I'm asking you to enter into evidence and publish what's with framework for identification as State's Exhibit 25.
All right, it's been admitted.
Permission to publish?
Yes.
So I'm placing State's Exhibit 25. There's 2 pieces of paper. Placing 25A on the Elmo So if you notice, I'm pointing to the bottom left corner of 25A where we're noticing the words front door. Help us understand, would this be the bottom floor or the top floor when you went to make this diagram?
This would be the bottom floor.
So if you're entering from the parking lot, you're coming through where my finger is pointing right there where it says front door.
Yes.
Immediately to our left, we see what?
A kitchen?
The rectangle, excuse me, right to the right of the word kitchen, what is that representing?
The kitchen island?
Moving along, we're going further. My finger is pointing to the words dining area. Right above that, we're seeing what looks like to be a table and chairs. Is that representative of
Yes.
table and chairs? Okay. What is just beyond that at the top of your diagram? We see two squares with W/D. Tell the jury what that represents.
It's a washer dryer closet.
Now we're going forward into the living room. It looks like we're seeing number 1 and number 2. What are those representing?
They are evidence markers.
Okay, so, and it looks like number 1 is to the left of a longer rectangle. What does that represent?
And that's where
That longer rectangle,
Jermaine was sitting.
At the bottom, just off to the center to the right.
It is a couch.
It looks like evidence marker 2 is just between two like darker squares to the right of the rectangle. What is that representing?
Like sofa chairs?
And to the right of that, we see a little sketch. Can you explain to the jury what we see to the right where my finger is? It's all the way to the right bottom right corner.
It was a little pink like Barbie car, like that you could sit and drive in.
Like a child's toy?
Yeah.
Now moving across the room, we see, what are we looking at right here? It looks like another rectangle. I'm pointing to the top center, almost off to the right. There's a rectangle and it looks like it has some lines like a grid. What is that?
Those are
represent?
Those are
stairs.
stairs.
Clearly.
So moving to 25B that I'm placing on the Elmo now, is it safe to say that this sketch diagram of 25B represents the upper level or the second floor of the townhome?
Yes.
So on the bottom left, we're looking at, do those also represent the stairs? When my finger is pointing to the bottom left.
Yes, they do.
So you're walking up, it looks like you immediately run into, it's white, it's the outline of like a rectangle with a number 3 next to it. Explain to the jury what is number 3 representative of?
A cabinet or a shelf that was at the top of the stairs.
Right next to that, we see what looks like hallway, and then to the right of that, it looks like a line going to the right, and there's a series of small dots that connect it to the left. What is that representative of?
That is the hallway going into the front bedroom, which was the children's bedroom.
When you walk in, we're seeing a couple of different shapes, and we're seeing a couple of different words. So we're looking here to the left, there is a rectangle with 2 squares or 2 rectangles on the other sides of it, and it says dollhouse. Tell us what that means.
It was a dollhouse, like a Barbie dollhouse, that was in front of the bed.
The bed that we're looking at here to the left, it looks like we see a top rectangle and then a lower rectangle that is visible from the top aerial view. Explain to us why can I see the bottom one even though I can see the top one as well?
It was a double bunk bed with a larger bed at the bottom.
So what did it look like? Maybe it was like a twin over full or a twin over king. They're different sizes.
Yes, there were different sizes.
Gotcha. Now we're looking at, we can see on the top a number to the left. It looks like B2. Do you see that right there?
Yes.
What is that representative of?
It was a marker of, I believe it was a suspected bullet hole.
Okay, and we see also the numbers, it looks like on the top bunk here, we see number 6, number 11, number 8, number 10, and number 9. What is that representative of?
Those are all evidence markers.
Number 5, we see with a line. Is that being attributed, number 5, to an evidence marker?
Yes.
And would that be on the top or the bottom bunk?
I believe it was the bottom bunk.
So it looks like there's 6
Now,
numbers.
looking over to the right, we see anytime we see these numbers, is it safe to say those are evidence numbers?
Yes.
So we see what looks like an evidence number 4. Tell us where that was located or what it was around.
It was around 2 sets of TVs, and it appeared to be like a chair, and it was in the corner.
So this line that we talked about earlier with the series of dotted lines before that, does that represent like the doorway?
Yes.
So if you're exiting through this doorway from the children's bedroom with the bunk bed, what's immediately to the right?
A bathroom.
And is that what we see here to the right where like the toilet and it looks like something in front of the toilet, a shower and a vanity area?
Yes.
Now walking down this hallway, it looks like there's a doorway to another room. What is that entering?
The master suite, master bedroom.
When you enter this doorway immediately to the right, what do we see?
Another bathroom.
Now, without any further doors, if you keep walking, you walk into what looks like the master bedroom, is that correct?
Yes.
Now, we see to the right a rectangle up against, it looks like the wall that separates the bathroom from the master bedroom. Is that representative of a dresser?
Yes.
We see several evidence markers, 12, 13, 14, and 18, or 16. Oh yeah, no, that's 18. Are those representative of
I wonder if this is
evidence
the dresser
that
where
was found
the
in
gun
location
was.
on the dresser?
Yes.
Looking upwards to the right, we see 15. Is that an evidence marker found on another piece of furniture?
Yes, it was another dresser.
Another dresser, okay. Then we see the bed, we see evidence marker 17. Is that representative of a piece of evidence that was found on the bed?
Yes.
Now, when we're looking at both of these, 25A and 25B, is the purpose of doing these two diagrams so that every piece of physical evidence that's found at the scene is representative on this diagram?
Yes.
Okay. Now, after, one second, let me just return this to the clerk.
Yeah, it's hard to hear.
After
Or
you
hard to
have the
understand.
Heritage Club address and you document this scene of the physical evidence that's found while you're assisting crime scene investigator Bader, did you have an occasion to go to a hospital where another victim, in this case Jermaine Bass, who we call JJ, was located?
Yes.
Did you have an occasion to take photographs of JJ and his injuries?
Yes.
And I'm showing you what's been trademarked for identification as states 27A through D. Do you recognize these photos?
Yes.
Is this a fair and accurate representation of what the child victim JJ looked like at the time that you photographed him?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time I offer into evidence what's been trademarked for identification as states 27A through D as states 27A through D.
They're admitted
Do I have
already.
permission to publish?
Yep.
Thank you, Judge. I'm putting on the Almo what's been trademarked for identification as state, or what's been entered into evidence as states 27A. What hospital was he located?
He was at TGH as well in the PICU,
What's the PICU? Do you know?
the Pediatric Intensive Care Unit.
When you walked in, this wound that we're seeing,
That's sad.
for the record, on 27A, the photo is depicting what looks like the ear of the child. And up to the right, we see a wound. Is that his left ear?
Yes.
And I'm putting 27B on the Elmo. Often in these photos, we see these measurements used. Can you explain to the jury why and when you decide to use these measurements in photos?
When we take our series of photos, we usually do overall mid-range close-up, and what you're seeing are close-ups, and then with our close-ups, we add scales to give a relative size to show how large an item is or how small an item is.
This injury on 27B, is it the same injury that's depicted on what we just looked at on 27A?
It is.
I'm placing on the Elmo 27C. Tell the jury what we're looking at on 27C.
That is the JJ's right pinky finger.
An injury to his right pinky finger. I'm putting on the Elmo what's been entered into evidence as 27D.
I want to know
Is this
where
the
he's saying
same
the
photo
gun
that we
was
just
kept.
looked at? This one having the markers so we know how big it is.
Yes.
One moment. So we have the injury to JJ, the left side of his head right above his ear, and then we have the injury to his right pinky that we just saw in those photos, correct?
Yes.
Judge, may I just have a moment?
Yes.
I don't have any further questions.
All right. Cross?
No questions.
All right. You can step down. Thank you.
Thank you.
She released from her subpoena?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, didn't really get much from CSI there other than that they took some pictures. These were the shots were fired. Obviously, that's going to be important moving forward with the case, but nothing really to ask about there.
Your next witness.
Crime
Interesting.
Investigator Shannon Heater.
And let's skip ahead a little bit here.
Will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Good afternoon. If you would, please introduce yourself and spell your name for us.
Hello, my name is Shannon Bader, SHANNON.
Last name Bader, Bader.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How long where do you work?
I work for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office as a crime scene investigator.
Tell the jury, how long did you work?
Another
at the
CSI
GSO,
investigator.
The Heritage Grove address associated with this case to do your investigation. Did you meet with the detective at that time?
Yes.
Who did you meet with?
Detective Clay Holman.
Do you guys walk through the scene together and have some sort of understanding before you start documenting?
Yes.
Did you do that in this case?
Yes, I did.
When you arrived, tell them what you saw.
So I walked through, it is a townhome that when you walk in, the kitchen is on your left, there's a living room area, then you walk up the stairs, there's a bedroom to your right, there's a bathroom kind of in the hallway area. There is then a master bedroom in the front, also with a bathroom inside.
Tell us what you're doing when you first walk through and during your process of documenting.
So first I walk through and I do a walkthrough of the scene. And then what I do is take overall photographs, which are basically photographs of the house and everything as is when I get there.
When you walk through and you're working with a detective to decide how to document, what do you use to place next to items that you see that may be of evidentiary value?
Evidence markers.
What do those evidence markers look like?
So I have yellow cones, or I also use green scale markers or yellow scale markers.
So tell us the difference between the scale markers and the cones. The cones, are they like physical cones that you can place next to something?
Yes.
What about the green and yellow scale markers? Are those like the cones or are they something different?
There's something else. They're basically like sticker scale rulers.
Do they all represent the same thing when they're used in one crime scene?
In this case, particularly, I use the yellow evidence markers to document items of evidentiary value of physical items that I was collecting. I use the green scale markers to document areas of red substances, and then I use the yellow scale markers to document any damage that I saw.
So yellow evidence markers were for physical things.
Yes,
The green scales, which are like stickers, that was used to document red substance you saw.
yes,
And the yellow stickers were used for what?
for damages.
Damage, okay. Judge, do I have permission to publish what's been entered as states 22A through EEEE?
Yes.
I'm placing on the Elmo states 22A. Tell us, when you first walk into the apartment or the townhome, is this what you see?
Yes.
What are we looking at in this photo?
So this is the living room area. The front door is behind me and the back door is in front of me. And this is, you could see evidence marker 1, and then on the floor should be green scale marker A.
There's probably
So
blood
the
there.
cone of evidence marker 1 indicates to us that there was something physical next to it. What was physical next to it? Do you remember?
Yes, this was the ace bandage clip.
Okay. Now on the floor, you told us that the green scale stickers represent red substance. Is that what's notated on the floor right here?
Yes,
We're looking at 22B. Is this a close-up of that green sticker that we just saw?
yes it is.
And if we zoom in, oh. If we zoom in, the red substance that's depicted on the floor, you can kind of see it in like the wood graining. Is that what you deemed of evidentiary value to put the measure sticker next to it?
Yes,
We're looking at 22C. So when you first walk into the apartment, we saw evidence marker 1 was a couch. This evidence marker 2, are these 2 chairs? Was that just on the other side of the couch as you're walking into the room?
yes.
Tell us what physical is next to evidence marker 2.
This is a blue cell phone.
We're looking at 22D. When you go to walk up the stairs, are these green stickers? We see 1, 2, 3 in this photo. What do you see on those green stickers, and what was the purpose of placing them there?
These are more areas of red substances as you're walking up the stairs on the wall. That should be green scale C, and then D and E up there.
I'm placing 22E on the Elmo. Now we're seeing a close-up, and if you zoom in, there was a green evidence sticker that we can see. It says red substance C that you just referred to. Also depicted, we see a green sticker here to the left on one of the staircases. Why did you place that evidence marker there?
There's a red substance on that stair.
We're looking at 22F. Tell me the vantage point of this photo.
So this is kind of looking up. I'm standing in the middle area of the stairwell, and you're looking up to the landing.
We see a green marker on the left. Was that to document and mark a red substance as well?
Yes.
I'm placing on the Elmo 22G. At this point, is this as if you had walked up to the very top of the stairs and you're looking ahead?
Yes.
Now, we can see a yellow evidence marker 3 in this view. Tell the jury what is immediately to the right of the physical evidence marker 3.
This is a gauze pad.
I'm placing 22H on the Elmo. Is this just a closer up view of that gauze pad?
Yes.
I'm placing on the Elmo 22I. Which room are we looking into?
This is the kid's bedroom.
So, I want to zoom in. I see a green evidence marker on the left side of the doorway. You can see the brass or metal, door hinge to the left. Why did you place that green evidence marker on the doorway right there?
There was an area of red substance there.
Now,
Probably
on the
when they
other
were
side,
bringing
the
the
green
daughter
area
out of
that we
the
just
room.
looked at, that's not the side that the door is connected to, correct?
Correct.
So the area where I'm pointing on the right side of the photo, where immediately to the right of that, it looks like there's like an open closet right there. That's where the door is attached to, correct? So it opens up inward.
Yes.
Now on 22J, which I'm placing on the Elmo, is this the same doorway that we're looking at, but we're looking at the actual side of the door?
Yes.
And I see an evidence marker in the middle. It's green. Tell us what that represents.
The red substance on the door.
Now we're zooming in. Tell the jury and explain for the record. Everything's written down. What color's the door?
White.
So the spots that we're seeing in this photo, is that the red substance that you deemed should be marked with that green marker?
Yes.
I'm placing 22K on the Elmo. We see in the bottom right-hand corner a silver door handle. Is that the silver door handle on the door from the previous photo we were looking at?
Yes.
So when we're walking into the room, is this the children's room that we're walking immediately into?
Yes.
In the middle of the room, tell the jury, I'm pointing to a circle here that has a pink around it, and tell them what it is.
Trampoline.
And immediately in front of that, we see a white rectangle. What was that?
A pillow.
We see a green evidence marker on the pillow, and I'm going to zoom in so that we can see it a little bit better. What color is the pillow?
White.
And we can see that there is a red substance.
It's a lot of blood on the pillow.
Just to place that evidence marker there.
Yes.
Immediately behind the trampoline, it looks like, is that a dresser?
Yes.
I'm placing 22L on the Elmo. We see on the right side of this photo a brown, it looks like the same dresser you just pointed out in the photo before. Is that correct?
Yes.
So that's the
Tell
bottom
jury
of the
there
bunk
is,
bed there.
What's in the middle where the green marker is that we see that I'm pointing to right now.
That is another red substance on the floor.
That's a
Now we're
lot of
looking
blood.
at 22M. Are these the same monitors that we're looking at here in 22L?
Yes.
So as we walk over and we take a better look at 22, or at the monitors that were on 22L, on 22M, what is the yellow evidence marker signifying?
This is marking the red cell phone that's on the ground.
22N, I'm placing on the Elmo. Tell the jury what the purpose of the green sticker is.
This is marking the red substance on the ground.
I'm putting on the Elmo 22O. What are we seeing here? We see something in the doorway.
The dollhouse.
Was that there all along, or was that moved during the course of the investigation?
It was moved.
Where was it originally?
Up against that pink house that's against the bunk bed.
So I'm pointing to the right where I see gray framing. Is that the gray framing of the bunk bed you're talking about?
Yes.
Immediately to the left of that, we see like a darker hot pink that looks like some sort of child's house. Are you indicating that the one on the left was pushed up against?
Yes.
Okay. Now, this marker 7, what is that indicating?
There's a piece of a gun holster in the, I guess, baby holder.
Like some sort of like baby doll
Yeah.
toy. Okay, we're looking at 22F. I'm placing on the Elmo. Is this a closer up of the evidence marker you were just discussing?
Yes.
And once we zoom in, what do we see inside of
What is that?
baby doll accessory here?
That is a piece of a gun holster.
A piece of a gun holster. 22Q.
Interesting.
What are we looking at here?
This is the top of the bunk where the stairs are, and there's 3 areas of red substances marked.
So we see one on the left side here of the
I don't
top
know,
of the
y'all.
ladder,
This doesn't make
correct?
sense.
One up at the top corner where you would like walk up the ladder, and then one immediately to the left of that.
Yes.
We're looking at 22R. Tell us what we're looking at in 22R.
This is the top bunk where you could now see a grayscale marker. You can kind of still see the one in the corner. 2 areas of damage marked, and then yellow evidence marker 6.
I think this is the first time that we see the yellow markers. So you said the yellow stickers represent damage. So
Look at
for
all that
instance,
blood,
we see
man.
damage
God.
A.
Dang.
What does that look like to you? Is that in the drywall?
Yes, that's the hole in the wall.
So we see, I'm zooming in for the record on damage. I just zoomed in on damage A. Now I'm zooming in on damage B. What are we looking at in damage B right here?
That's damage on one of the bedposts on the top bunk.
And then we see another green sticker right above the bed frame on the far left. What is that indicating?
That is marking a red substance on that wall.
So on that wall, tell us what color's the wall?
White.
Any of the spotting that we're seeing right there, is that what you deem to be red substance?
Yes.
Oops, wrong thing, I'm sorry. Now we see on the right side of this picture, a physical yellow evidence marker number 6. Tell the jury what the physical evidence marker number 6 is representing.
That is representing a casing.
That's crazy.
22S, I'm placing on the Elmo. This is a similar view as the one before, would you agree?
Yes.
The difference is we see a marker on the mattress. Tell us what the marker on the mattress indicates.
That is showing the red substance on the mattress.
We're seeing on 22T, tell us what we see.
These are 2 red substances on the wall, and this is a view from the bottom bunk.
So, and to reference this, I want to put on 22U. So in 22U,
Wow.
what are we looking at?
So this is the bunk bed. You could see the top and the bottom in this photo.
Explain to the jury so that they can understand what size were the beds?
The exact number I do not recall.
But was it a queen over a queen?
Oh, a
Was it
twin.
A twin on the top, and on the bottom, did the mattress fit the frame perfectly on top?
On the bottom, no.
On the top.
On the top, yes.
Okay, and on the bottom, no. So help us understand, was the mattress too big or too small for the frame on the bottom?
I don't know
bottom,
why
it's
that
too
matters.
small.
Now, what are we seeing in, we're looking at 22U specifically, and I want to focus your attention. You can see that there is a mattress on the bottom, but then it looks like some sort of item behind the mattress, flat up against the wall. What was that item?
A giant teddy bear.
And what did it look like the purpose of the giant teddy bear being between the wall and the mattress to you?
Objection, speculation.
Sustained.
When you were at the scene looking at the giant teddy bear, did it fit between the mattress and the wall?
Yes.
Was the mattress touching the wall at that time?
No.
Now, I want to refer back to 22T. There's 2 evidence markers here. Oop. What are they representing to you? We see one that says red substance Q. And it looks like a straight line down. What did it look like to you when you were there in person and had a chance to look at it up close?
It was the red substance on the wall, and then next red sub R, also a red substance, both consistent with blood.
Now, we just talked about you. So let's go to V. This gives
What do
us
y'all
a
think
better
is going
view
on
of,
here? This
evidence
is
marker
so
6 that we
odd.
talked about before. What are we looking at that's immediately to the right of evidence marker 6?
This is the casing on the bed.
22W. Is this the same casing we just viewed as next to evidence marker 6?
Yes.
I'm placing on the Elmo 22X. Is this the top bunk or the bottom bunk?
The top bunk.
And are these the same damage marks, A and B, that you pointed to before, and red substance marks that we've seen in other photos?
Yes.
The pillow, was that on the mattress when you were taking photos?
Yes.
I'm placing 22Y. Is this a closer up of the red substance we talked about before, right next to the teddy bear on the bottom bunk?
Yes.
22Z. Tell us what we're looking at in this photo.
This is the bathroom that is next to the kid's bedroom.
Now, on the far right of this photo, where my finger is located, the far right, you can see an open door. Tell the jury, where does that door lead to?
That door is the child's bedroom.
So, the door that I'm pointing to in the middle of the photograph that you can see that's
Yeah.
open, the wall above here that I'm pointing to, which is right next to the tile from the shower for the record, that wall is shared by this bathroom and the children's room, correct?
Yes, correct.
22AA, I'm placing on the elbow. What are we looking at here on the right? We see an evidence marker,
This is the yellow scale marker documenting damage on the wall.
and it's labeled damage A1. We also see a marker on the left side. It looks like there's a shower curtain rod and a shower curtain. What is documented here on this side?
That is documenting damage on the shower curtain.
So I'm looking at 22BB, I'm placing on the Elmo. Damage A1, is that on the wall that we just looked at in the bathroom?
Yes,
Damage A2 in 22CC, is that the damage to the shower curtain that you were just talking about?
yes.
Bullets flying everywhere.
I'm placing on the Elmo 22DD. Damage A2 that you just discussed on the shower curtain, is that the same one?
Yes.
Now, what are we looking at here on the left? Describe to us what that damage is and where it was located.
That's damage A3 and it's in the shower on the wall.
We're looking at
Jeez.
22EE, I'm placing on the Elmo. Is that the same damage you just described?
Yes,
What's located within the damage that we see on this photo?
that would be a projectile.
22FF, I'm placing on the Elmo. So we just left the bathroom, we're not in the bathroom anymore. Where are we right now looking at the damage that is depicted in this photo?
This is the top bunk railing.
I'm placing on the Elmo 22GG. Tell us the vantage point of this photo. I see a marker that says A1 and damage B2. Where are you standing when this photo was taken?
So now I'm standing inside that bathroom that is next to the child's bedroom, and we're looking at the wall that is shared with the child's bedroom.
Is this the same bathroom that just showed the damage that was to the shower curtain and the projectile that was found in the shower tile that we just looked at?
Yes,
Same room.
yes,
We're looking at 22HH.
Those shots
See
are
damage
awfully
B2
high.
Again, is that the same bathroom that we've been discussing?
yes.
22II. Tell us what we're looking at. Which room are we in now?
This is the kid's bedroom, and this is a view of the bottom bunk and where the stairs start.
When we're looking at this bottom bunk, we see what looks like a pink and purple blanket. Behind that, we see kind of a big lump back there. Is that the teddy bear you were talking about earlier?
Yes,
We see an evidence marker number 5. What is that significant?
that is another casing on the bed on the bottom bunk.
We're looking at 22JJ. What's the purpose of this photo?
This is showing the height of how high the bunk beds are.
So we see what looks like a measuring tool here on the left, and it looks like the top portion of the railing on the top bunk is 5 feet and 5 inches. Is that fair?
Yes,
I'm placing on the Elmo 22KK. Tell the jury what we're looking at here. We see 3 evidence markers, 8, 9, and 10.
these are marking 3 more casings.
Now, this photo, is this of the top bunk or is this the bottom bunk?
The top bunk.
22LL. Is this a close-up? We're looking at 8 right here with a casing right next to it. This is just a close-up of the casing located next to that
Yes,
marker. What are we looking at 22MM?
that is the head stamp of that casing.
What about 22NN? We're looking at evidence marker 9 and 10.
Also the casings.
So this casing that I'm pointing to more in the middle, is that attributed to evidence marker number 9?
Yes,
And the casing that's to the left where it looks like the empty cylinder is facing upward towards the ceiling, is that attributed to evidence marker number 10?
yes,
22BB. No, sorry. 2200, I'm placing on the Elmo. Is this the head stamp? Hold on. There we go. Is this the head stamp of the shell casing attributed to evidence marker number 9?
yes,
23PP. What are we looking at?
that is the casing at evidence marker number 10.
22QQ. Tell the jury what we're looking at.
I
That
don't
is
know
the
why
head
they
stamp of
keep
the
showing
casing, and it's
Jermaine.
marker 10.
We don't
You've
need
used
to
the
see
term,
him.
head stamp a couple of times. I don't want to blow over that. Can you explain to the jury, when you're using the term head stamp, what does that mean?
So basically the casing, it is the top of the casing that has the imprint and the firing impression on it.
We're looking at 22RR and placing on the Elmo. Tell us the significance of the evidence marker. We see 11.
Evidence marker 11 is showing the bedding on the top bunk.
We're looking at 22SS. I'm placing on the Elmo. Help us get oriented. We've been into the bathroom. We've been into the children's bedroom. We've been downstairs. Where are we now in 22SS?
So
So
now
this is the
we're
dresser
in
with the gun.
The master bedroom.
Allegedly.
22TT. I'm placing on the Elmo. Is this the same master bedroom?
Yes.
Help us understand the vantage point. I see in the middle, I see what looks like an open door right to the right of the silver dresser depicted in this photo. Is that the door that you would use to enter and exit this master bedroom?
Yes.
22UU, I'm placing on the Elmo. Help us understand what we're looking at here.
This is the dresser in that master bedroom, and there is a live round next to evidence marker 12.
I'm going to zoom in. What does a live round mean?
It is a round that has not been fired by a gun.
To the left of evidence marker 12, there is a silver object that I'm pointing to. Is that the live round you just spoke about?
Yes.
I'm placing on the Elmo 22VV. What are we looking at?
We get you're
22
placing everything on the Elmo. Dang.
That is the head stamp of the live round.
22WW. I see evidence marker 13 and 14. Help us understand what they are attributed to.
This is that drawer in that dresser that we just looked at, and 13 is a wallet, and 14 is a gun.
So let's go back to, this is 22TT. In the back, we see evidence markers 13 and 14 and a drawer to the top left that's open. Is that what we're looking at, just like a top aerial view here in 22WW?
Yes.
I'm placing on the Elmo 22XX. Is this a close-up of the two items you just described?
Yes.
So we have 13 attributed to a wallet, and then 14 attributed to the item that we see right here, which looks like the top of a handgun. Is that correct?
Yes.
22YY. I'm placing on the Elmo. Is 22YY the same firearm that's right here by evidence marker 14?
Yes.
In this photo, it's facing the right. I'm placing 22Z on the Elmo. Is this the same firearm?
Yes.
It's facing the other way.
Yes.
22AAA. I'm placing on the Elmo. What are we
It's a
looking
380.
That is a magazine that was also in that drawer.
at? Was it in the drawer?
Does that change
because it was
anything
in
for you,
the,
Michi? It's a 380.
The firearm, or was it separate from the firearm?
It was separate.
Okay. Now, we're looking at 22BBB. Orient the jury. Where are we when we find evidence marker 15?
This is next to that dresser, and it is a phone inside of a backpack.
So are we still inside the master bedroom when we find and locate this backpack that's depicted in next to evidence marker 15?
Yes, we are.
22CCC, I'm placing on the Elmo. Orient us to this photo. It looks like there's a hand depicted in the photo. Is that your hand?
Yes.
What are you holding in your hand in 22CCC?
A projectile.
A projectile. Where was this projectile found?
In the wall of the bathroom, sharing that wall that shares the child's bedroom.
So we just left the master bedroom, so let's back up. 22CC.
And whoever did this most likely emptied the clip because that Glock only holds, I think, 6 to 7 rounds, if I'm right. It's the smallest one that they make.
See where this hole in the wall is that from the vantage point of standing in the bathroom where this wall shares the room with the children's bedroom?
Yes.
22D I'm placing on the Elmo. Is that the same projectile we just saw, just a close-up version?
Yes.
22DDD. Did I just say that? 22EEE.
They emptied the magazine.
I'm placing on the Elmo.
Yeah,
Where-
meaning the Glock 42 380s only usually have a magazine that holds 6 to 7 rounds.
What are we looking at?
This is the top bunk mattress after we cut it open.
And that's how many were
What was the
fired.
purpose of cutting the mattress open from the top up?
We had noticed a hole in it.
It's weird.
22 FFF. What are we looking at here?
Now we ripped away all the foam inside, and now we're looking inside the coils of the mattress.
So in this photo that we're looking at right here, it looks as though this mattress is now on the bottom bunk. Help us understand.
So because the mattress was on top, in order to just examine it better, we did bring it down to the bottom bunk.
What are we looking at in 22GGG?
You can kind of see the projectile that it's under all the coiling in the mattress.
22HHH, what are we looking at?
That is that projectile.
So this projectile was found in the mattress that was located on the top of the bed.
Yes.
What are we looking at in 22HHH?
This is back to the master bedroom, and it is a security camera on a nightstand.
22III, we see an evidence marker 17.
That is marking that Adidas bag.
When you first initially walked into the master bedroom, was that Adidas bag sitting on the bed, or was it located elsewhere first?
It was located elsewhere,
Where was it located?
in the master closet.
What was the purpose of taking it down from the master closet and onto this bed to photograph it?
This was after the detectives had done their search, and it had found that it was of evidentiary value. So then I took the photograph of it.
Okay, so 22JJJ. What are we looking at in here? What is this the contents of?
This is the contents of that bag at evidence marker 17.
So the same bag that we see in 22III, are you saying that this is the contents of that same bag in 22JJJ?
Yes.
Now, we're looking at 22LLL, placing it on the LL. Oops. It looks like a hand is holding some sort of measuring device. Help us understand, why are there times that you use a measuring device, like a ruler in this case, to show the height of something?
This is showing the height of the damage to show how high it is off the ground.
In this photo, we see an evidence tag to the left that's labeled damage A1. Right above that, we see something poking out of the damage that we've seen before. We've never seen something that thus far in all of these photos poking out of the damage. Help the jury understand what's poking out of damage A1.
That is called a trajectory rod.
What's the purpose of using trajectory rods when you are documenting a crime scene?
A trajectory rod is used to show a possible flight of path through 2 areas of damage or more.
So for instance, if you have a crime scene where it looks like you have what some may call a through and through, is a rod helpful in that situation to document the trajectory to show in fact if it was a through and through?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so we see damage A1, that there's a rod there. We're looking at, also for the record, would you agree with me that the damage A1 is just about 5 feet 6 inches high?
Yes.
So now we're looking at 22MNM. Oh, I guess it would be helpful to just make sure that 22LLL, this damage A1, what room are we located in?
This is the bathroom on that same wall that shares the child's bedroom above the towel rack.
So on the direct other side of this wall, is that where the bunk beds were located?
Yes.
Now, 22MMM, I'm placing on the LL. Is this the same bathroom that we were just looking at
Exactly.
in the previous photo?
Yes.
There's so many
Now,
things that could have
Next
happened.
to damage A1, again, it looks like we have a ruler. Would you agree with me that damage A1 is about 4 feet, 11 and a half or so inches?
Yes.
There you
We're
go.
looking at 22NNN. What are we looking at in this photo? We see a ruler to the left of what?
This is showing the height of damage A3 in the shower wall.
Would you agree with me that the damage is right around the 4'10" to 11" marker?
Yes.
We're looking at 22000. The green item that we see depicted in the middle of this photo, is that the trajectory rod that you were discussing with the jury earlier that we saw poking out of damage A1?
Yes, it is.
What's the purpose of documenting with the trajectory rod, specifically in this photo?
So this is showing the connection between the damage that I had marked at the yellow scale markers A.
Does using a trajectory rod in a situation such as this one, where the damage depicted shows it could potentially all be caused by one projectile?
Yes.
Objection, speculation.
Overruled.
So in this case, what's depicted in 22000, does damage A1, hold on, I have to,
Yep.
does the damage to the wall, the damage to the shower curtain, and the damage to the shower tile containing the projectile all match up using the trajectory rod?
Yes.